Hello.
It's me, Colette Baron-Reid, with my buddy, Debbie Frank, the astrologer extraordinaire in the UK. Nice to see you. And by popular demand, here we are, and we're going to go through the Astro Oracle reading for the month of October. Now, Debbie is going to start, and what Debbie's going to do is she's going to give us the overview for the whole month. That's for everybody. Then I'm going to do a quick overhaul, even though I'm going to have a full video where I'm going to do cards for the entire month at another video. But I'm going to give you like my version of the Astro Oracle after her. And then we're going to go through every sign. So Debbie's going to go first, and then I'm going to follow up with card readings. And here we have our Astro Oracle reading for the month of October. And don't I love October? And you should too, because you're a Scorpio.
I love October. It's good for Scorpios.
At the end, anyway. Now my Libra rising is loving it now.
Libra bit. Yeah, it's a real Libra Scorpio mix.
Okay, go ahead.
Right, we're on. So as we enter October for everybody, we enter into this new month actually, and it's eclipse season because we already had the eclipse full moon in Pisces, which was September the 17th for United States, the 18th if you're in the UK. And, that was, like quite an overwhelming full moon for a lot of people. And then 2 weeks later, we get the corresponding lunar eclipse, solar eclipse, which is the 2nd of October, Wednesday. This is the eclipse new moon in Libra. And it's close to Mercury. So things are jumping, ideas are buzzing. We're starting off the month with quite a lot of clarity and, kind of dispelling the mists of that Pisces full moon. So everyone's starting to have more clarity, feeling that we're initiating. Obviously, it's this new season, it's a new month, and this solar eclipse is all about, restoring that sense of balance in our lives. And, we're moving into the final few months of 2024. So it's very much about, what are we going to activate? So I think everyone's all into the clarification. So Venus is already in Scorpio at the beginning of October, and the middle of October, the 17th, Venus is going to move into Sag as an early bird, actually on the same day as the full moon in Aries. So the full moon in Aries, that's quite a full moon because it forms what we astrologers call a grand cross when we have the sun opposite the moon. That's what full moons are. But also we have Mars in Cancer opposite Pluto in Capricorn, and they're all kind of there at this cardinal cross. And what that means is that it's a decisive energy, which is good. We want decisions, we want to move forwards, we want to get past things that have been hanging over the summer, things we've been kind of pondering on. So I think that's actually quite a good full moon for getting things done. And of course, Scorpio season begins 22nd of October. And, that brings us into that sort of, deeper thinking awareness. It's a time of kind of moving in on ourselves to kind of get to that power place again, where all the power comes from deep within, not from external circumstances. So we're accessing that, seeing how we can transform our lives. I actually love the month of October. I think it's great. There's so much.
Doesn't it feel like we're getting released from some of that the gunky energy that I found in August? It was interesting. I found myself part of me was trying to push against something that I felt like I was go, but like, let's be playful. And then it was like, no.
Square, the Jupiter Saturn, which dominated the summer.
Right.
And that big full moon that was August the 19th in Aquarius, it was quite a strange setup of energies here, because as I was saying to all my clients, nobody gets entirely great or entirely bad, because Jupiter's kind of like, oh, this is fabulous. And Saturn's like, no, don't have too much fun. What about your responsibilities?
And then September comes and then there's an eclipse.
Yeah, there's the eclipse in September, and such an overwhelming eclipse. I mean, it was really good for a lot of people. I noticed healing, because Pisces is the sign of healing and letting go of things a lot, and miracles. I heard of miracle situations. Those are fantastic.
Wow.
But some people just wiped out, myself included. I was very wiped out being a water sign.
Me too. Water sign here, right? I was like, wow. So let me ask you a question, because everybody here, you mentioned that Venus was in Scorpio and then it's going into Sag. Can you tell us a little bit more about Venus in Scorpio and then how it goes into Sag? And what is that? What kind of flavor does that bring to the month?
Well, it's powerful. I mean, of course, in the US, you're kind of psyching yourselves up for the election, which is
I'm in Canada.
November. And, you know, I think it's all about, you know, the power grooves and moves. I mean, here also in the UK, it's all very political at the moment, all of that going on. And it's about, are we going to give them the power, or are we going to access our own power? I always think that's really what Scorpio is about. So Venus in Scorpio is also about getting into, I call it the jewel colors, you know, that very Scorpio, rich,
rich, deep.
Yeah, it's really beautiful. It's more intense. And then on the 17th, as it moves forward into Sagittarius, you know, that's quite a positive, adventurous kind of flavor to it. You know, people making more plans, and it's quite go-getting, and it's social as well. So I think it's great to have, you know, the doubleness of that, a bit of Scorpio followed by a bit of Sag.
And I really love well, I mean, I'm a big fan of the fall anyway. I always have been, but I do also kind of in our bodies, we know, right? I think that when we take our faces away from the computer, or like, you know, the social, whatever, wherever we get our information, and we just walk in our body knows what's right for us. Like it really does. So that we don't get too overwhelmed by, so I love that this month is the decision month. It's very decisive. So it's interesting because my cards.
Tell me.
Yeah, it's really cool. So truth be told and deep knowing, which actually speaks to these are my baby Woto cards, Wisdom of the Oracle. So truth be told is all about, and isn't it true about Venus and Scorpio too? It's about revelation. It's about revealing what is true, right?
Yeah,
and the whole month is, it's like, I'm going to make a decision based on my own sovereignty around power, right? So that's great. These two cards are saying, and it's not going to be hard. That's it. And it's not like a slap. It's like, it's more like revelatory as opposed to being forced to face something. Do you know what I'm saying? It's much more like that. Very different. Yeah, it's an invitation. Your clarity of thought finally returns. For October. And what I love about this is that serendipity and higher power. Now, higher power is in the protection position because it just reminds us like, whoa. Serendipity comes because our higher power is working behind the scenes. And for us, when we surrender to it and we keep it as our number one priority in terms of our priority of relationship, like my relationship starts with spirit, then it goes to people, you know, so it starts primary as spirit, not someone else kind of thing, right? And then yourself, then you can be a channel. And it's just reminding us that no matter what we think temporarily looks so awful in front of us, there's forces at work we don't know, understand, or can even fathom, but they seem to come back into our favor in the month of October, bringing things again to light, which is the truth be told card, and creating this opportunity again, chop wood, carry water. It's really just another day. I'm going to make this decision. And the milk and honey is at the end of this is all about playfulness and reward. You know, it's like, I feel it's like there's a reward for all the hard work you've done, for all the stuff that's gone on since the summer. So the reward starts to show up in your body when you've surrendered to spirit and go, you know what? I've made a decision. This is it. I have clarity of thought, clarity of action, boom, boom, boom. Okay, so let's do each sign.
Let's do it. Should we start with Aries?
I guess we should. Let's do that.
Okay, shall we? So Well, of course, this first October the 2nd eclipse for Aries is super important because it's in Libra, which is your opposite sign. Now, this is all about initiating and activating relationships for you. There's a new cycle. Eclipses, of course, keep their energies for at least 6 months. So this is going to be taking you through to the end of March. And that's going to be really interesting for you. So, start reaching out, start making your long range plans. But your one and only full moon in your own sign is the 17th of October. That's the full moon in Aries. So you're going to be firing on all cylinders as a fire sign, super decisive, putting yourself out there. It's the crunch, but it's all about rising to the challenge. Don't forget, you're on a hero's journey. We all are, but you in particular are going to be receiving those codes of what next steps you need to take. And you're going to enjoy that, just pushing forwards. This is also just the last few months of the North Node in your sign, which will finish with you in January of 2025. So it's all about, getting clear on your sense of purpose really in this life. And this is a 19-year cycle. The nodes won't come back for 19 years. So, it's a fascinating time. It really is. It's a great time for you guys. So Colette, what do you say?
Yeah. So it's interesting because I got what would appear to be contradicting or tension cards together, right? When there's tension between ideas. So the to be fair card is in the protection position, which means sometimes that sense of powerlessness when you look at a situation and you have no control over, or you realize you have no impact over that, and you see things that you wish were different and you can't do anything about it. Right. Things that are not fair about other people, etc. So that warrior energy doesn't get to go where you want it to go. But there's a blessing here. So this sense is that it's redirecting your energy once you've surrendered to what you cannot change. And then you realize, oh, wait a sec, I can do this. Right? It's that really beautiful moment where which Aries can do better than any of us, right? Is to be that pioneer, get up and get going and really see what can manifest.
Yeah. That's terrific. Very good. Well, Taurus, second sign, and the 2nd of October, that eclipsed new moon is all about getting yourself together. Taurus, you love to be organized and putting it all together. That's exactly what you're going to be doing. Whether this is about your work, your daily rhythms, it's about mind, body, spirit, it's about your spiritual practice, as Colette just mentioned. So important to have that spiritual relationship going first, the relationship with spirit. Applying yourself in a new way. So you're kind of, setting all your intentions for how you want to live your life, making it work for you. It's very, very nice. Venus, of course, in your opposite sign of Scorpio, all the scorpionic energy is lovely. It's going to give you a big glow up in relationships. It's a great time for, healing things, putting out the olive branch if there's been a bit of tension over the summer, and, a lot of, lovely invitations with Venus there, people reaching out to you. So I think that's very beautiful. On the 17th, I would say with that particular full moon in your next door neighbor sign of Aries, just step back for a little bit, just for a couple of days. Don't overdo it. Stay grounded in your space, and enjoy Scorpio season beginning on the 22nd. This is all about who's in your life. Just take a look around. Who's showing up and why are they showing up?
Yeah, that's really cool. I love that. And it's also about decluttering. Okay. So we have the not for you card and breathe. So this is because this is also a relational month. And I wanted to reiterate too, that with Aries, even this was also about relational, like where am I over trying to fix something that it's not my right? So this is also the discernment that the Taurus needs to have in October, and to realize that, wait a sec, I can say no, I can release certain things. And also I don't have to work so hard in my relationships, right? Like the people who are loyal to me, the people I love, they're really going to show up for me this month. That's for Taurus. Yeah. And the breathe card is about you. It's hard work to declutter or to like to organize, but you love doing that, right? Same with Virgos. They love that. But this is about, I can breathe easier now that I've said no to certain things, right? And I've removed certain, even people from my life, but it's not even a hard thing. It's not like I'm having a fight with anybody. If anything, it's more like, I'm sort of moving towards this area now in my life. Do you say that makes sense to the
totally clearing the space, clearing the space. Yeah.
All right.
Good. So Gemini, well, Gemini, of course, you're still playing host to the gorgeous planet of abundance, Gemini, in your sign. So that's beautiful. And on the 9th of October, Jupiter is going to start reversing through your sign and will stay in reverse in retrograde until early February. Now, this is not the same as, Mercury going retrograde, something like that, which we feel just, is an intervention to do with our communications. We all know that retrogrades are fabulous because they are times for us to get everything sorted. And Jupiter is, instead of kind of, throwing yourself into everything, is kind of just stepping back, strategizing a little bit more. I mean, your luck is still absolutely on your side. It's a fantastic time, but it's just being a bit more intentional about it. And I think that's great. We've got the sun in the 5th house during Libra season. This is fun and games for you, very much lighting your spark. And this feeling of you being able to find your happy place with that solar eclipse. 17th of October, that full moon is about people. You'll love it, being a people person, all air signs, people. This is about groups. It's going to be right up your street, bringing everyone together, and then just coming a bit more down to earth. So it's a nice balance, because 22nd of October, when Scorpio season starts, is into the 6th house area. Astrologically, that's very much about, working your environment and, just putting everything into place and in proportion. So you're having lots of fun, but you're also kind of sorting everything out too. Great.
Oh my God, this is so hilarious, because I got the happy card. It's about the happy place for Gemini. Totally.
Yeah.
It's interesting too, because we got the unfinished symphony card in the protection position, which is about cleaning up what, like finishing things, like putting the bow on things, like completing things, but also in a way that you will be very happy. So the Gemini is in a really good space, as long as you actually do that. Because there's the caveat is just to go out and play is not the answer. It's really to complete things and then to be able to share them. That's the other thing, is there's a lot of things to share for Gemini, which I think is fantastic.
It's super good. And Cancer, of which our darling Colette is a Cancerian. And this eclipse for you is about home, family, or personal life. It's a rebirth energy for the next 6 months, taking you through to March the 29th, 2025. So if there's anything there that you feel you need to kind of anchor down, this is the time to do it. Anything around your home or for you personally, I mean, it could be really great, because it's very much one of those eclipses, I think, which is the starting point of a new beginning and feeling happy in your skin, all of that kind of thing. The Scorpio energy is also lovely, of course, because you're a water sign. So through the course of the month, we've got Venus coming through here, Mercury is coming through, and then the sun's coming through, pulsing through your life, and pulsing your life actually with laughter. Don't forget to smile. 17th of October, the full moon on your midheaven direction. What about your career choices? Where are you going? Who do you want to be in the world? How do you want to show up? This is the most purposeful full moon of the year 2024. So over to you, Colette.
Love it. Okay, so Cancers are supposed to be doing some inventory also this month. So where are you being really truthful to yourself about your direction, what you really want to do? Or are you just saying, yes, this is not the month for Cancerians to say, okay, yes. No, it's like, is this really what I want? Or am I lying to myself in any way? So this is really important for us to ask, is this true? Really, really true? Does it sit right in me? Or am I just saying yes to to make everybody get along? Right. And blessed is the next card, which is really also with that, is like, when you do that, you are set free, right? You are completely set free. That deep, rigorous honesty brings you blessings and some. And it just says to be flexible with the way things change and shift, and to be careful not to be too rigid, because, Cancers can be quite tenacious about their ideas. Everybody laughs at me at Hay House. They say I'm a dog with a bone. I'm a spiritual dog with a bone. I'm just like, if I love something, I'm just going to go poof. Right. So, but yeah, Cancers this month, nice month, but again, be in that place. Do not do anything that is compromising to you, because you'll pay for it later.
All right, good advice. Very good. So Leo, well, for you, it's all about communication, discussion, ideas, the think tank, social media, getting your message out there, learning and teaching. So, you will have this very clear thinking. It's a total light bulb month, especially at the beginning with this eclipse. And if you get that bright idea, then it's over to you, Leo, to actually follow through on it. The 17th of October is lighting up the sort of travel and adventure area of your chart. So good time to think about things like, where are you going? Both literally, are you planning a trip, but also where are you going in your life? What can you do for, bringing in more life enhancing activities, and very, very good for personal growth. Scorpio season, it's a time to come back home. You might say, well, that was quick. I only had my full moon on the 17th. But, Scorpio season is about returning to the inner you. And of course, you can take that anywhere you are. You can be in Machu Picchu with that kind of feeling. You can be anywhere. But you might be in your four square walls, same place. And that Scorpio season is all about, the inner power that we were mentioning earlier, that transformational power of choice.
Love it, love it, love it. This for Leos, you also don't usually like to be the one to ask for help from other people. You tend to be the one that wants to give the help. So when you have that clarity of thought, you might need help to get it. Like you might have the big light bulb moment, but you need people to help you get it created, if you will, right? So don't forget, the world was not created just by a solo act, right? It's the group that creates things. So don't be afraid to ask for help, because help will come. You have to ask for it. Great friendships are also, soulmates are coming for you this month. Again, this is a relational moment, right? There's a real sense of like, oh, wait, yes, I don't have to do this alone. I can shine, but there are people that will help me, bring this to light, bring this to the world. Treasure Island is in the protection position, which is asking you not to be overly optimistic, like to be a little bit more realistic, because things could take longer than you want. But this big bright seed is being planted. And just remember, you don't have to go out in the field and look to see if it's growing. Right? Right? Like, leave it alone. Yes. But it's awesome. It's really going to be interesting to see what a Leo personalities actually come up with this October, right?
It is. Lots of razzle-dazzle there. Well, Virgo, if I could sing, I'd be singing money, 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 but I can't sing, so I won't. And really what this eclipse is about for you is the focus on what you earn and what you have in material form. So yes, it's about your salary, your possessions, but it's actually really about your internal assets. Don't forget your own skill set, your own true worth and inner goals. So there can be a great time for seeding, literally, something that will take shape over the next 6 months. Now, the corresponding full moon, 17th of October, is all about where other people have a finger in your pie, Virgo. This is about shared assets, joint ventures, who has a call on your resources. Excellent time for you to come to an arrangement. And again, not being a walkover about that. Don't forget the Grand Cross on that full moon. It's about putting it out there about what will really work, because you're the practical seer, and more importantly, what works for you. Scorpio season, again, ideas, projects, discussions, and getting your message out there. So it's a great month.
It seems like we keep saying that. It's like, it's a great month, but actually it is.
It really is, because you do get 12 months.
One of the things that I love about you, and like both of us try to look for, even if there's a challenge, what is possible that could come from that challenge, and I do think that I think really having a lot of life experience, you realize that, the doom and gloom doesn't last long. But you can plant something amazing in the dark, right? So right. So for Virgo, there is a bit of conflict. It says the chaos and conflict card with the loyal heart and protection. When it comes to the shared resources, you might be actually a bit nervous. Like you said, Debbie, don't be a pushover, right? Yeah. So it could create a little bit of a discomfort in you to say, hey, I really need this for myself.
Yeah.
right? So I need this. So the renegotiation is what could come up for you this month for Virgo. But there's a blessing here, the blessed card. Notice the blessed cards. I've been shuffling these cards, and here it is.
Keeps coming, that one. Lots of
Yeah, it
blessings.
just keeps coming. So yeah, just remember that when you are when I use the word empowered, sometimes people misconstrue that word because it's not power over anything. It's more, but that internal sovereignty that you have over your own assets. Like, oh, I have talent, skills, a good nature, whatever it is. Like you realize, oh, I can translate that into something material. So that's also really great if the Virgo personality is looking to start something like a new business, right? Where you're going to be doing it for a living. It's a really good time to do that.
Yeah, it's a good time to do that. Really is. So, of course, Libra, you are flavor of the month, and you've got the solar eclipse in your own sign, 2nd of October. If you have a birthday around that time, you can expect this whole year, birthday to birthday, to be an enormous changing year of rebirth for you. But for all Libras, no matter when your birthday, this is an opportunity for you to get in touch with the question, do you really want your life to change? Are you an active person or are you passive? Do you prefer it if other people make the decisions? Because I would say this solar eclipse is urging you, Libra, to make your own decisions and to clear and heal the past and to move on. And then, of course, you're going to get this full moon in Aries, the relationship angle on October the 17th. And that's about where are you in relation to others? Are you a people pleaser or a collaborator? And will you comply or will you respect your own truth? So it's time to call those changes in, really, to make those changes happen. And then when we get into Scorpio season, this again is about, your emotional and financial resources. Just, really taking stock and feeling more stable. That's also a way to find that peace, harmony, and balance that you seek. So, yeah.
I love that. I always get a kick out of it because I have Libra rising. I have 0 degrees Libra rising.
Yeah.
I always say I have codependent rising.
Yeah.
I have people pleaser rising anyway, but I've definitely overcome that. But I'm aware, right? You want to have harmony. So Libra, no place like home. You really are at home in your own skin this month as well. So you can be a little bit more sure-footed about what you're letting go of, because the not for you card in the protection position says stop chasing after what doesn't want you, right? So in other words, if something is ambivalent, a person is ambivalent, or a situation just doesn't seem to be working out, it's okay. So you literally don't have to keep trying to make it work. You can just walk. And so that's also really good. And you can be at home with your decisions. And using your imagination, that right use of imagination. You love beauty. It's like, what could become more beautiful in my life if I were to remove a lot of that angsty energy that I have around trying to solve things that aren't mine to solve, trying to fix people, or please them when it's really not the right thing for me. Those are the kind of questions to ask. But seriously, I love that sense of feeling at home. And I do think that October 2nd moment, that's really, really good. It feels like there's a lot of clarity for everybody that's going to show up.
And for Libra to really know what they want, which is sometimes, overlaid with what everyone else wants. So it'll be great.
Yes. What do you want? What are you having? Like, what are you having at dinner? What are you having? I'll have one. What are you having?
Okay, well, Scorpio, of course, the goddess Venus in your sign as you enter into October up until the 17th gives you very flattering lighting from the cosmos, which is really great for magnetics, for magnetizing those people, those situations that bring out the best in you. So work it whilst you've got it, Scorpio. The eclipse on October the 2nd is in your very secret spiritual 12th house area. But this is really about noticing those little things from the past that might need healing. It sometimes brings things up in order to be cleared. It's not about just bringing things up. There's a purpose to it so that we can heal and clear. A time to just, tune into your intuition. Mercury moving into your sign, Scorpio. Mind is going to be buzzing from the middle of the month, from October the 13th. And the 17th full moon is about you getting your act together. The 22nd is the start of Scorpio season. And this is all about, how can you be your best self? How can we move into the light of our sign? In other words, radiating the light of who we were born to be. And, feeling that actually, we can be the mover and shaker when the sun is in our sun sign. It's really very activating.
Isn't your book called The Life? What is your book called again? Everybody needs to
see it. Who You Came Here to Be.
Who You Came Here to Be. Yeah, you guys should really get this book, Who You Came Here to Be. It's a Hay House book.
Yeah.
And it's so really well written, and you'll see yourself genuinely in the sign. Like, who are we here? Like, why did we choose this sign, and who we came to be? We can make the best of it, or we also have a shadow side we have to watch out for.
Yeah.
So Scorpio, I'm gonna, it's funny. I typically choose 2 to 4 cards. The first card I got was the chaos and conflict, but it's in protection, which means it's already stirred up. Who cares? So it's like stuff's already stirred up. Remember, Debbie mentioned that stuff could come up, but remember, it's purposeful. So I think what this is to show you how far you've come. Right? Yes. To really go, you know what? That's up for me. Talk to the hand. Right. And then the observer is asking you to be a little bit more neutral about things. And when I say neutral, it's not about not picking sides. It's not that at all. It's just not taking things personally and looking at big picture and recognizing that you might not have all the facts. Okay, that's one. And what a great month, October, and again, Libra season is always relational. So for scorpionic relationships, there's the exchange. And it's a very rapturous exchange. And it's really potent for you, Scorpios, and you're ready. So and I love the exchanging gifts of the poise card. So for Scorpios too, if you have products that you want to show people, but it's always going to be about transformation. So this is the transformation, like the lead up to the transformative month that's going to be in November, for the beginning part of November. But it's really very much about you owning who you were here to be. That's why I'm saying get her book, especially Scorpios. You need to read it. But it's great. Again, no matter what comes up for you, it's coming up because it's on its way out. Yeah. What comes up is on its way out. It's your job just to look at it, witness it, and say, I get it.
Don't need this anymore. Yeah. Did it. Got the t-shirt.
Yeah. Got the t-shirt. Okay. Next.
Sagittarius. Well, this new moon, the eclipse new moon, is in the people angle of your chart. It's about teams, networking, getting yourself out there. It's new frequencies. Don't forget, new moon is new frequencies, new friendships. Who can you bring in? Who do you want to meet? So there's also that going on at the same time. It's a lot of 12th house energy because it's Scorpio planets. So that means there's a lot going on behind the scenes, underneath the radar. So there's a time to tune into your inner light and guidance, and maybe don't, blab on about everything. Just it's a bit close to your chest for a little bit until we get to Sagittarius season. But Venus is coming into your sign on the 17th of October, same day as the full moon. It's going to give you a massive glow up. And I would say that with Venus in your sign, that is calling you to put love into everything, the way you live your life, who's around you, to yourself, into everything.
I love it. That's so funny. You keep saying glow up. That's my favorite British makeup show. Is Glow Up.
I didn't even know there was a makeup
show. It's on Netflix. It's the best. Oh my God, it's so good. Anyhow, it's very interesting. The blessed card came up a lot, but so did the not for you card come up a lot. Right. So I think this is about keeping things close to your chest, keeping that. Sagittarius is not the easiest one to keep a secret, right? But it is about keeping something. Yeah, until something's manifest, keep it close to you. Yeah. Beautiful renewal month, right? That's the other thing. So regeneration. So relationships from the past might surface again, or you might have missed a boat with somebody and you got a chance to reconnect. It's a beautiful, beautiful relational month. You'll have access to your intuition pretty easily and effortlessly this month to make the right decisions, because the Yang card is with the deep knowing card, which is I know intuitively when I should approach, when I should not approach, right? So that's really good. Now let's talk about
inner guidance. Capricorn. Well, there is literally this eclipse at the peak of your chart. Since you are the mountain climber, where better for it to be? So it's likely it is going to be some kind of peak moment. And, you know, have a look. What is your view? And for some of you, just checking in, are you on the right mountain? Did you climb the right one? Or do you need to move a mountain? It is very much about, you know, it being in your strength here, being able to, you know, just orchestrate whatever your next steps really are. It's a sort of leadership moment. 17th of October, very much about putting your energy more into home and family. That's the balance point. And Scorpio season is about you being a leader of people. You are such a great leader because you're not about ego, Capricorn. You're just about, you know, let's get this to where it's supposed to be for the good of all. So I think Scorpio season is very much about you gathering all of those right people around you to do the right thing in your books. And you know, that's a good thing.
I love this. So I love how the cards, you can't make this shit up. I mean, the cards reflect the cards reflect the stars. It's just the way it is. So now, you know how you were mentioning about needing, maybe you need to move the mountain, right? Okay. So we got, again, the chaos and conflict in the protection position, which is really about shit stirred up already. Don't worry about it. Like if there's changes, and a change in the wind is about you being powerless, basically, to stay on the same path, because it's good that you make a change. Like it's an invitation. You might not need move the whole mountain, but you might want to go on the other side of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
It may not be the entire thing, but it's pivots, it's changes. It's great for pivots and changes. Now, of course, just like Debbie said, bringing the people around, it's community. It's the community. It's people will come and help you with this. And like you said, it's not ego driven at all. And the chop wood card is this is stuff you got to do. So nobody does it better than the Capricorn with the nose to the grindstone. I'm in my progressive mood as Capricorn, and I feel that work energy every day. Get up and do it. So very, very interesting for Capricorns. Again, typically work focused, but this could mean anything in your life too, right? So it's the idea that change is necessary for you right now. It is the question. And even if it's a small pivot, it's important, and gathering the right people, but you'll get the right people. That's the other thing, because you'll intuitively know who they are and who they are not.
Nice. Very good. Very good. So Aquarius, the water bearers, this is really a time for you to grow exponentially and to think about where you are going. It's a very intentional eclipse new moon here on October the 2nd. So, you know, place your wish list out there. You'll get your vision board together, but literally map it out. And don't forget, the trajectory of these eclipses can take 6 months to come to fruition. 17th full moon is about you keeping the conversation going. Even if people don't agree, there could be some disagreement there. But of course, what you bring is this objectivity and the capacity to think outside of the box. And that will culminate, I think, on the 25th of this month with this beautiful Mars-Uranus breakthrough energy. And everyone will kind of say, wow, you're the person that made us really open our eyes and see this differently.
Well, that's interesting because, again, the chaos and conflict. You saw me shuffle those cards. I was shuffling really, really well. Back again with the chaos and conflict in the protection position, which means that stuff stirred up already. The great thing about Aquarius is that you can see when all that glitters is not gold, right? So you're going to, but it's okay to window shop right now. I think that's the other thing for Aquarius is this dream really what I want? Or is it that I want an experience that I think that thing's going to give me, right? And that is something that we teach I teach in the Vision Board Challenge, etc. Like, ask yourself those questions. What experience are you trying to have? The observer card comes in, which is us being able to see the big picture, step back out. You know, I always say that it's inaccurate that because people tend to say, oh, Aquarius can be cold. It's not about that at all. Aquarius can actually have big picture thinking in a way that they can step out of the emotion and look and say, you know, this is best for the collective. This is best for all of us, because I've been able to see without that overtly emotional attachment outcomes, right? So it's very, very good. And it also helps us, I think, for Aquarius. There's a leader in the Aquarian way of looking at things. But again, we are watching them grow. That's the other thing. We can observe the Aquarius people in our lives and see how are they growing and what are they doing right now, because there's something in there we could all learn from.
Exactly. Absolutely. What a role model.
Yeah.
And Pisces, last but not least, well, you're probably still processing this eclipse full moon in your own sign recently, so close to Neptune. So that's quite a sort of dreamy, floaty full moon, which puts you in touch with your own wish list and your dream life. It can also be an opportunity to have let go of some things that, you know, you've been kind of either in denial about, that can be a Pisces thing, or haven't seen clearly. So I think now, as we were saying, October is such a month to have that 2020 vision, that clarity, that you can come in here and just see through. It's not about the veils, it's about the layers of relationships, what's going on in your business, in financial matters, in relationships, and you can just see through it all and see exactly what needs to happen. And I think that by the time we get to that full moon on the 17th, this is all about completion, full moons are, but for you on things like deals, purchases, negotiations, contracts, all of that kind of thing. And then you're moving into Scorpio season later in the month, which is really the call out to start reaching for the stars. Nothing less will do, because as a Pisces, you know, you are not limited. It is about your capacity to go beyond and get in touch with, you know, what is the best and where is the magic.
Oh, I love that you said that, because there, you know, sometimes the illusion can, like, I get that you were talking about, you know, how Pisces have to face certain things about, and it really is the busting of illusions, right? Neptune is the illusion as well as spirituality, the higher spirituality. I mean, it won't be that hard because it's going to be pretty obvious. And it's like the clouds dissipate and the Pisces is going, oh, this is the truth, because the other one wasn't. So truth be told is that comeuppance. It isn't painful. It's just like, oh, when that moment of clarity comes, people think, oh, no, the truth comes out. No. It's just there. It's not a thing.
It is what it is.
It is what it is, right? And so the Pisces is great. You're going to recognize that. You'll see also, you'll have to second guess who and what you've been loyal to. And I think that's, again, the internal thing. Are you in alignment with spirit? Have you been giving your power over to other people and situations, as opposed to what could, you know, like everything is fleeting except our dynamic relationship with spirit. That's always present. So it's a reminder too, who's running the show, not you, right? So, but new life is possible out of this, right? That's the other thing. It's beautiful for Pisces if you're willing to actually, it's not depressing, but I think that you've been confused. I actually think that, right, there's been some confusion energy.
It drains the energy. The confusion drains the energy. So as you get clearer, you have more energy.
Yes. At the end of the month, at 17th one, you've got join, and I think for all of us, obviously we're all a group of individuals. You're watching this video, you're an individual. Some of this will make sense. You will then take what we've said and apply it the way it works for you. And ultimately, we can't tell you what to do, but the energy is there. Right. Yeah, even if we want to, right. But you know, we are all invited right now into this pretty extraordinary time of change. And it's only difficult if you're in big resistance to it. It's only difficult if you refuse to see what's in front of you. That's the only time it's really difficult. It's also difficult, for example, obviously people in the world that are not in a privileged position like us, where we sit down, we're doing readings and you're sitting there and you're watching the readings, etc. But wherever we are in the world, this is going to mean something different. But I do think that everything that's going on in the world right now is there to help us wake up.
Yeah, really it is.
Really wake up. And why are we here? You know, like Debbie's book. we're here. Each one of us has a special purpose. If you're watching this, you count, you matter. You really matter.
Every single one.
Every single person matters. So just remember that. And we're going to see you next month, right, Debbie?
Yes.
Yay!
Yay. Have a lovely October.
Bye, everybody.